Rice with eggs is better than pizza. I cook it almost every day. In a pan, I'll add oil, 1 cup of rice, and sauté. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching us from so I can send you a big hug. Today's hug goes to Patricia Miller from Denver. I'm really happy you're enjoying our recipes. Now I'll add 2 cups of water. You're going to love this recipe. 1 teaspoon of salt, cover, and let it cook for 15 minutes. In a bowl, I'll add 4 eggs, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and whisk until smooth. After that, I'll add chopped parsley to taste, 1 chopped tomato, 1 cup of yogurt, and mix everything very well. The cooking time for our rice is done. Now I'll pour the whole mixture into the pan and mix it with the rice. I'll cover the pan and let it cook for about 10 minutes. After that, we'll flip it using a plate and return it to the pan. Make this recipe at home and then come back to tell me what you thought. I'm sure you and your whole family will love it. To give our recipe that special touch, I'll add shredded mozzarella on top. After I made rice this way, I never wanted to cook it any other way again. My whole family loved the result because it's simply delicious. And to make it even better, I'll sprinkle parsley to taste on top. Cover again and let it cook until the cheese melts completely. Tell me how you make rice at home. I'd love to know your recipe.
I learned this at a restaurant. This is the most flavorful chicken I've ever had. To start our recipe, we're using a whole chicken. I cut it in half like this and open it with my hands to expose the inside. Next, I add 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, then I flip the chicken and add again 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper. Now I squeeze butter over the top. Using a kitchen brush, I spread the butter all over the chicken. And before I forget, let me know what city you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to Olivia Barnes from Asheville, North Carolina. I'm so happy you're enjoying our recipes. Now in a pan, I add 1 tablespoon of butter. Once it melts, I add 9 cloves of garlic and fry them well. I set the garlic aside. Let me know what you think of the recipe so far. Next, I place the chicken in the pan and sear both sides. I love trying new recipes, and this one is worth every minute. I remove the chicken and place it in a baking dish. In a bowl, we add 1/4 cup of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of mustard, 1 tablespoon of honey, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika. I mix everything until it becomes a thick, smooth sauce. Then I brush the whole chicken with this sauce and cover the dish with foil. Now in a pot, we add 500 grams of potato. Add water to cover and let it cook for a few minutes. Meanwhile, I place the chicken in the oven at 356 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes. In another pan, I add a drizzle of olive oil, spread sliced onion, and add half a red bell pepper. Sauté everything well. Back to the potatoes. Drain them and add to the sauté. You're going to be amazed by the result. The flavor is incredible. Now I add 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and parsley to taste. Sauté everything very well. This will be the perfect side for our delicious chicken. I learned this recipe while working at a 5-star restaurant, and since then, it's been a regular in my home. One of those dishes everyone expects as soon as they smell it cooking.
I learned a genius trick from a friend in Italy that everyone should know. I'm starting off by cutting up 250 grams of pasta. It's already cooked in this case. You're gonna fall in love with this way of making it. Once it's all chopped, I'll add 4 eggs into this bowl, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper. Now I'll mix everything really well so it's all nicely combined. This is the kind of dish that turns a simple meal into something unforgettable. Even if you're not super confident in the kitchen, you'll pull this off no problem. I broke it all down step by step so you don't get lost along the way. Now, I'm tossing the chopped pasta into the bowl. And hey, if you make this at home, send me a pic. I'd love to see how it turns out. I'm adding 150 grams of diced mozzarella cheese. Stir it up gently with a spoon. Let me know what city you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to Jason Miller from Austin, Texas. So glad you're enjoying the recipes. Now I'm pouring in the egg mix. Give it one more gentle mix. It's so good, it'll disappear in no time at your house. In a pan, I'm adding 150 grams of diced bacon. Keep stirring while it cooks. We want it golden and crispy. I love cooking with bacon. It adds so much flavor. Look at that. This is the perfect point to stop. Now I'm layering the pasta mix right on top. Spread it out nice and even with a spoon. This recipe has a few mixing steps, but take your time. It'll all come together perfectly. Put a lid on it and let it cook for 5 minutes. After that, I'm using a plate to flip it. But we're not done yet. This is that recipe for when you need something quick and crazy delicious. Look how gorgeous it's turning out. And yes, I'll show you the final result. Now I'm adding a bit more cubed mozzarella cheese. Sprinkle on some parsley to make it even better. Cover and let it cook for 5 more minutes. Done. Time to plate it. Isn't it beautiful? This is perfect to wow your family or friends. Just slice it up and serve. The smell? Out of this world. Even your neighbors will want to know what's cooking. It's a great choice if you're trying to eat better without giving up on flavor. And check out that texture. I just know it tastes amazing too. If you like special, one-of-a-kind recipes like this one, keep following. I've got tons more secrets to share. This one's perfect for gathering the people you love. I promise it's gonna be a meal to remember. Everyone's gonna be impressed when they see what you can do in the kitchen, and I'm right here cheering you on. With just a few ingredients and a little time, you've got something absolutely delicious. You don't need hours in the kitchen to whip up something this good.
I learned a genius trick from a friend in Italy that everyone should know. I'll start by cutting 200 grams of cooked pasta into smaller pieces. Now I'll cut 200 grams of mozzarella, first into thick slices, then strips, and finally cubes. In a bowl, I'll add 4 eggs, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and beat well. Tell me, what pasta recipe is the biggest hit in your home? I'd love to hear it. In a bowl, I'll combine the chopped pasta. And before I forget, let me know what city you're watching from so I can send you a big hug. Today's hug goes to Olivia Bennett from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm so happy you're enjoying our recipes. A portion of the mozzarella and the egg mixture. And stir everything well. In a pan, I'll fry 200 grams of bacon cut into cubes until golden and crispy. Next, I'll pour in the pasta mixture, spreading it out evenly. Cover the pan and let it fry for about 5 minutes. After that, I'll flip it using a plate. Add the rest of the cheese. I don't know about you, but I love using bacon in pasta recipes. It adds the perfect flavor. Cover again and let it cook for 5 more minutes. Make this recipe at home and come back to tell me what you think. I'm sure you and your whole family will love it. This is such a quick and easy recipe, perfect for those days when you want something fast, and the result is absolutely delicious. Next time you cook chicken, try this easy and delicious recipe. I'll start by adding 3 chicken breasts cut into cubes into 8 whole eggs that are already in the pan. Then, season with 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and mix everything very well to combine. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to Emily Johnson from Denver, Colorado. I'm so happy you're enjoying our recipes. Tell me how you usually make chicken at home. I'd love to know your recipe. Now I'll add parsley to taste, 150 grams of shredded mozzarella, 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, and mix everything well until smooth. Once you cook chicken like this, you won't want to make it any other way, because the result will really impress you. It's very practical and super tasty. Now we can add 3 tablespoons of wheat flour and mix again. Cheese in our recipes is never too much. It gives that special touch my whole family loves. After that, I'll place the pan over low heat, cover, and let it cook for 15 minutes. After this time, I'll flip the recipe with the help of a plate. Then, add 100 grams of shredded mozzarella. I'll cover and let it cook for another 10 minutes, which is just about the time it takes for the cheese to melt. Make it at home and then come back to tell me what you think. I'm sure you'll love it.
I should have learned this sooner. A genius trick I picked up from an Italian. For today's recipe, I'm gonna slice one chicken breast in half, just like this, without cutting it all the way through. Then I'll cover it with plastic wrap and tenderize it real good with a meat mallet. Oh, and before I forget, tell me which city you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to Weston Pierce from Georgia. I'm really happy you're enjoying our recipes. After that, I'll remove the plastic and cover it with a pot lid. Now I'll trim the edges of the chicken that are sticking out from the lid, just like that. I'll transfer the chicken to a plate with wheat flour. Make sure it's well coated. Now in a bowl, I'll crack 3 eggs. Add a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of black pepper. Mix it all really well. Then I'll add half a cup of Parmesan and 3 minced garlic cloves. Keep whisking everything nicely. I'll throw in some parsley to taste. Any idea how today's recipe is gonna turn out? Now I'll dip the chicken we prepped earlier into the mixture. Time to coat it all over again. Next, I'm melting a tablespoon of butter in a pan. Spread it all around. Once hot, in goes the chicken. I'll place it nicely and let it cook till golden. Then I'll flip the chicken to cook the other side too. Once it's ready, I'll set it aside for later. In the same pan, I'll pour in 1 cup of chicken broth, 3 minced garlic cloves, the juice of half a lime, and some parsley to taste. Mix it all real well. Have you ever made a recipe like this? Send it my way. I'd love to try it at home. Then I'll add 1 tablespoon of butter again. Give everything another good mix. Now I'll bring the chicken back into the pan and coat it with that flavorful mix. Make this dish today and send me how it turned out. I'd love to know you enjoyed it. Now I'll take the chicken out of the pan and plate it. This recipe is so quick and easy, saves me tons of time during the week. To finish, I'll spoon some of that sauce over the top of the chicken. Just look how gorgeous this meal is turning out. I can't wait to dig in when it's done. It's looking absolutely irresistible.
Everyone is making fried potatoes like this after seeing this genius idea. To start, we are going to cut 2 potatoes into thin slices using a peeler. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to Rachel Miller from Austin, Texas. I'm really happy that you're enjoying our recipes. In a skillet, I'm going to add 100 grams of butter, and we're going to stir until it melts. Trust me, the result is amazing. Next, I'm going to add 1 sliced onion, 100 grams of champignon mushroom, and we're going to start sautéing. Now, I'm going to add the potato slices. We're going to keep sautéing. This is the moment when everything starts to come to life. Next, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of black pepper, and we're going to stir a little more. I'm sure this recipe will become a classic in your home. It's impossible to make it just once. After that, I'm going to remove and pour the sauté into a bowl, passing it through a strainer. Every time I get to this part, I remember that cooking isn't just technique, but also the emotion of turning simple ingredients into something special. In another bowl, we're going to add 6 eggs, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and with a utensil, I'm going to mix until the ingredients combine. Now, we're going to pour in the sauté we made earlier, and I'm going to keep stirring a little more. I love recipes like this, simple to prepare, but with a different touch that surprises anyone who tries them. In a skillet, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of butter. We're going to stir until it melts. And next, we're going to carefully pour in our mixture. I'm going to cover it and let it cook for 5 minutes. Right after, with the help of a plate, we're going to flip our recipe to brown the other side as well. Look how amazing it's already turning out. I'm going to add mozzarella on top to taste, spreading it well. This ingredient gives it the special touch it needed. We're going to let it cook for 3 more minutes, or until the cheese melts. And after that, I'm going to remove it and place it on a plate. This recipe earned its place in my kitchen effortlessly. After I made it for the first time, it became impossible not to repeat because the result speaks for itself. Every time I make it at home, someone comments about the smell, about how beautiful it looks on the plate, and even those who don't usually say much end up saying something. And I get it, because it's simple, practical, delicious, and delivers exactly what it promises. Make it at your home too, and tell me what you think. I'd love to know.
How did I not learn this sooner? A genius chicken trick everyone should know. We're going to start by folding 3 sheets of aluminum foil, just like this. Do you have a special trick for cooking chicken? Let me know. I'd love to hear it. Now place the foil sheets on a baking tray. I'm adding 2 onions, sliced into strips, and spreading a bit into each foil packet. And before I forget, let me know what city you're watching from, so I can send you a big shout out. Today's shout out goes to Lashid Siwale from Zambia. I'm so happy you're enjoying our recipes. Then I'm adding 3 tomatoes, sliced into rounds, and setting that aside. Now take 3 chicken breasts and make a few shallow cuts across the top. In a bowl, I'm mixing together a 1/4 cup of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of rosemary, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and 3 cloves of minced garlic. Stir it all together until well combined. I hope you're loving this recipe so far. Let me know how you cook chicken at home. I'm always excited to hear new ideas. Then dip each one into the sauce until fully coated. Place the chicken on top of the veggies inside the foil packets. Now we're going to bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes. Keep in mind, cooking time may vary depending on your oven. Once that time's up, take it out of the oven and top each piece with 150 grams of mozzarella cheese. Pop it back in the oven just until the cheese is melted and gooey. I just took ours out of the oven. It's such a shame you can't smell this through the screen. It's unbelievable. The chicken is juicy, flavorful, and so tender. This recipe is truly incredible.
The new way of cooking chicken breast that's taking the world by storm. I'm gonna start by slicing 2 onions. You're gonna fall in love with the result of this recipe. The flavor is just amazing, trust me. The perfect combo of convenience and taste, straight to your kitchen. I'll put all these onions into a bowl. Now I'll slice 2 tomatoes. It's so easy to make that even someone with no kitchen skills can pull off this delicious dish. With this exclusive method, you're gonna impress everyone at the table. When you try it at home, send me a pic of how it turned out. This recipe is made for those who love simplicity but don't want to give up on flavor. I'll make a layer with these tomato slices here. I'm sure you'll find this super easy to make. We're ready for the next step. I've got 3 chicken breasts here. I'm gonna make some cuts so they can soak in all that flavor. Tell me what city you're watching us from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to Leah Thompson from Austin, Texas. I'm so happy you're enjoying our recipes. In a bowl, I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of olive oil. I'll add 2 chopped cloves of garlic, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of thyme. I'll mix it all really well until everything is nicely combined. The best part about this recipe is how quick and simple it is. That's why it's become a regular in my house. Now I'm gonna dip the chicken breasts in here. Make sure to coat each side really well. Take your time. You're gonna fall in love with this dish that makes every ingredient shine. If you get the ingredient amounts just right, I know it's gonna turn out perfect. Just like mine. I'll cover it with plastic wrap and let it marinate for 30 minutes. Bet you're seeing how easy this is. After the time's up, I'm gonna make another layer with the chicken. I'm sure this recipe is gonna become a classic at your place. It's impossible to make it just once. When you cook chicken at home, what kind of ingredients do you like to add? Using just a few ingredients, you'll discover the real magic lies in simplicity. Now I'm gonna bake it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. After that, I'll add some sliced mozzarella as much as you like. I love using mozzarella, so I'm adding plenty. Then back in the oven for another 10 minutes. Once that's done, it's perfect. Now just plate it, slice it up, and enjoy this delicious meal. Few ingredients, but the result? An explosion of flavor.
I discovered the trick that changed my life in the kitchen. Now, I only make chicken this way. For this recipe, we'll need 1 frozen chicken breast, and I'm going to grate it using a peeler. Tell me which chicken recipe is the most popular in your home. I'd love to know. Now I'll transfer everything to a bowl. Here we have 2 potatoes, and we'll also grate them using the peeler. And before I forget, tell me what city you're watching us from so I can send you a big hug. Today's hug goes to Daniel Moore from Chicago. I'm so glad you're enjoying our recipes. Once that's done, I'll add them to the same bowl. We'll need 1 onion, and we'll do the same with it. We'll add the onion to the bowl. Now I'm going to grate 200 grams of mozzarella cheese, and we'll put it in the bowl, then add 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and mix it all together really well. Make this recipe at home and come back to tell me what you thought. I'm sure you and your whole family will love it. In a pan, I'm going to add a bit of oil, 1 tablespoon of butter, and stir until it melts. Once that's done, I'll transfer all the mixture into the pan. And I'll smooth it out with a spoon so it's nice and even. I'll cover and let it cook for 15 minutes. After that, I'll flip it using a plate and put it back in the pan. Cover again and leave it for another 10 minutes. After removing it from the pan and placing it on a plate, I'll sprinkle some parsley on top. It gives that special touch to our recipe. This recipe is absolutely delicious. A chef taught me the best potato I've ever eaten in my life. I'll start by cutting 5 potatoes into medium pieces. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching from so I can send you a big hug. Today's hug goes to Michael Johnson from Austin, Texas. I'm really glad you're enjoying our recipes. Then I'll place everything in a pot, cover with hot water, and let it cook until tender, about 15 minutes. Now, in a pan, I'll add 1 tablespoon of butter, stirring until completely melted. When that happens, I'll add 3 chopped garlic cloves and sauté. Tell me, what's your favorite potato recipe to make? I'd love to know. I'll add half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of chicken seasoning, 1 cup of heavy cream, and mix everything well. The flavor of this recipe is simply amazing. You won't regret making it, and it's super practical. I'll transfer our cooked potatoes into this pan and mix well with this tasty sauce. For that special touch, I'll add 150 grams of shredded mozzarella. Finally, I'll add 20 grams of grated Parmesan and stir well so the cheese melts and blends into the sauce. At this point, the cheese has melted completely. Now just add some fried bacon pieces on top and also chopped parsley to taste. Mix everything well. The aroma is already perfect. Imagine the taste. Make potatoes like this at home, and then come back to tell me what you thought. I'm sure you and your family will love it.
A very famous chef told me the secret and asked me not to reveal it to anyone. To start today's recipe, we're going to cut 1 kilo of potatoes, just like I'm doing. I'll transfer everything into a pot. Add 1 teaspoon of salt and cover everything with hot water. I'm sure you'll be surprised by the final result. Now in a pan, I'll add 1 tablespoon of butter and let it melt. Next, we'll add 3 cloves of garlic to a pan and let them fry. Add half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 of dried parsley, and also 1 of paprika. We'll add 1 cup of heavy cream and stir. I have no doubt you'll come back here to thank me for teaching you. Now I'll add the cooked potatoes into the pan with the sauce and mix everything. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching from so I can send you a special hug. Today's hug goes to Michael Johnson from New York. I'm glad you're enjoying our recipes. For a special touch, we'll add some mozzarella cheese. The amount is up to you. I'll also add some Parmesan cheese. The combination of both types of cheese is simply wonderful. With just a few ingredients that anyone has at home, we can make a dish much tastier than those sold at traditional restaurants. If you are looking for an option that's easy to make, and even better, saves a lot of money, this is definitely the answer to your problems. I really wish I had learned this secret earlier, and that's why I'm here showing it to you now. To continue, I'll add some bacon. The amount is up to you. I'll also add some parsley. If you don't believe how good this turns out, try it at home and then come back here to tell me your experience. I'd love to know. Make it to share with that special person in your life. They'll be so happy and might even ask what your secret is. It's already become the star of my family gatherings. Whenever I make it, nothing is left. It's simply impossible to eat just a little. I challenge you to tell me if you've ever seen anyone make potatoes like this before. The flavor is light and at the same time very unique. Perfect to serve as a side dish with some rice, but if you want, it can easily be the main dish too. After I learned to make this, I never threw away potatoes at home again.
Add cabbage to boiling water and you'll love the result. I'll start our recipe by placing 1 cabbage into boiling water. The cabbage is already well chopped, so let's stir a little and let it cook for about 3 minutes. After this time, I'll remove it from the heat and drain all the water. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching from so I can send you a special greeting. Today's greeting goes to Emily Bwalia from Zambia. I'm happy that you're enjoying our recipes. Now, I'll add cold water to stop the cabbage from cooking further. Tell me, how do you prepare cabbage at home? I'd love to know your recipe. In this pan, I have olive oil. And I'll add 1 chopped onion, 1 grated carrot, 1 chopped green bell pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and mix well, letting everything sauté. Now I'll add the cabbage to the pan and mix it with the other ingredients. Guys, this recipe is incredibly delicious. Try it at home and come back to tell me what you think. I'm sure you and your whole family will love it. Now I'll transfer everything to a bowl These ingredients go perfectly together and give a special flavor to the recipe. Then add 2 chopped tomatoes, parsley to taste, 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, and mix everything very well. This salad is complete, easy to make, and absolutely delicious.
Add condensed milk to the rice and you'll want to make this every day. For today's recipe, I'll put 2 tablespoons of butter in a pan, letting it melt completely. After that, I'll add 1 cup of rice to sauté the ingredients very well. Do you already know how today's recipe will end? You'll be surprised with the result. Thus, I will fill the pan with hot water. This recipe is very quick and easy to make, even without kitchen experience. There's no way to have difficulties making it. You'll love the excitement of cooking for the first time. To cover and let it cook for 15 minutes. After that time, I'll loosen the rice very well in the pan. Now I'll add 2 cups of condensed milk. And before I forget, tell me from which city you watch us so I can send you a special hug. Today's hug goes to Carter Ellison from Missouri. I'm happy that you are enjoying our recipes. Also, I'll add 2 cups of heavy cream to mix the ingredients very well. The texture that the heavy cream leaves in the recipe is indescribable, so delicious it becomes. I'll cover the pan again to let it cook for another 7 minutes. After that time, I'll stir the ingredients once more. Then I'll add 1 cup of milk powder and 1 cup of grated coconut to mix all the ingredients very well. I love preparing this recipe to eat on Friday nights while watching a movie. It always yields a lot to eat again the whole week. With this part of the recipe ready, I'll transfer it to a glass dish. Have you ever made a recipe similar to this before? Send it to me so I can make it too. After that, I'll spread it evenly over the glass dish. Send this recipe to that friend of yours who really likes recipes with rice. I'm sure they'll love this one too. Now I'll use a sieve to put milk powder on top of the recipe. This dessert recipe is much more delicious than other similar ones you can find in conventional snack bars in the city, besides also being made with much more love and care. In addition to all that, this recipe is also very economical because it uses ingredients we normally already have at home. Then I'll transfer a portion of the recipe to a container. Look how beautiful today's dessert recipe is looking. I can't wait for it to be ready to finally try how it turned out. I'm sure you're already with water in your mouth just seeing how it's turning out. You'll be surprised with the result.
When I prepare chicken like this, there are never any leftovers. To start, we're going to take 2 large chicken breasts and slice them up. 2 chicken breasts is perfect for this recipe. Now I'm going to slice these and then go ahead and cube them, just like this. We want to make this into smaller pieces. It'll be faster to cook. Now this chicken recipe is delicious. You have no idea how tasty it is. And honestly, it just takes a few minutes. All right, once you've cut up your chicken, go ahead and add those pieces to a larger bowl for seasoning, just like this. Now I'm going to start with some eggs. I've got 3 eggs here. I'm also going to add a tablespoon of black pepper, a spoonful of paprika, and a spoonful of salt. We're also going to add 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And now just mix everything together very well. And this is going to be a delicious seasoning for our chicken. This recipe is honestly so quick and it is super flavorful. All right, at this point, we're going to add half a cup of flour, mix everything together again, and you can just see how simple and easy this is. And this is the texture we're looking for. We're now going to add 100 grams of grated mozzarella cheese. I'm going to add some parsley for some flavor and color. And now we're going to be adding a tablespoon of roasted garlic. Let's mix everything together again. And that's it. Our seasoned chicken mixture is ready. And honestly, in just a few minutes, you've prepared a deliciously seasoned chicken. All right, now we're going to go ahead and fry this chicken in a pan. I've got a pan here with some oil that's been heated up. And now we're going to add those chicken pieces right on top of the oil. Now you can go ahead and turn your heat on to medium. Add as many pieces of chicken as you'd like and arrange them in the pan just like this. I'm going to fry the chicken in larger pieces as you can see here. Fry on one side and then we're going to flip them over to fry the other side. And after a few minutes, they are nice and cooked. Our chicken is crispy and super tasty. And honestly, my mouth is watering. All right, let's let the other side cook. This is looking so good already. All right, and just after a few minutes, our chicken is ready. Go ahead and remove that from the pan and serve it on a plate. And now we're going to finish the rest of the recipe. Just going to fry up the rest of that chicken. And just like that, it's ready. Our seasoned chicken is perfect. Perfect recipe with spices, chicken, and cheese. Let's give it a try. Make it at home and you won't regret it.
Okay, cooks, add half a cup of vinegar to your milk. Now, before this, boil 3 quarts of milk. And after adding the vinegar, just stir until all the milk curdles. This process will be very fast. As you can see, my milk has already curdled, so it's super fast. And then next, you're going to just turn off the heat and pour the liquid into a strainer to strain. Calmly, so you don't burn yourself, remove the water. Just remove all the water from the milk. And now, with the help of a spoon, press the mixture with a spoon or spatula. This way, all the water will come out and it will be very dry without any liquid. And my recipe is ready. This step is very fast. So now we're just going to put all the dough together in the blender. Now, I don't buy cream cheese in the market anymore. I make my own cream cheese at home. It's easy enough. And I love this recipe. And this way too, you save time and you save money. Now, to help the batter, just go ahead and add a small amount of milk. The batter can get very heavy and thick, so the milk just helps the batter loosen up a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. And just add 1 pinch of salt. Now cover and beat everything until it is very well mixed. If you notice that your blender is not beating the mixture, just add some more milk. Just a little liquid will help with that. Okay, and after mixing very well, this is the result. Now put all the mixture in a container to take to the refrigerator. And I'm telling you, don't buy cottage cheese anymore. Make cottage cheese at home. You can see what a fantastic result this is. And besides being simple, it's super cheap. You're going to be surprised at the result of this recipe. So take the recipe to the fridge for just a few hours so that the curd will be firmer than it is. Shall we try it?
This is what I do when I have ripe bananas at home. Slice up 4 ripe bananas and then place them in a dish. Next, we're going to add 2 cups of milk. Now add all those ingredients to a blender. Just be careful when you're pouring it. You don't want any spills. It's very important to use ripe bananas for a sweeter result. This recipe is super delicious. Okay, we're going to add in 2 eggs now. Once you add in your eggs, put a lid on your blender, and then we're going to mix everything very thoroughly. Just 3 ingredients and you have a perfect recipe. After blending everything very well, you can go ahead and remove the lid. And then we're just going to set this aside for now so we can go ahead and prepare our caramel. In a frying pan, add 1 cup of sugar, spread it evenly, just like this. I have my heat on low, and we're going to cook the sugar until it's melted. Now, once you notice that sugar start to melt, then you can begin stirring, but don't stir before it starts melting. Waiting for it to melt is the secret for perfect caramel. And our caramel is almost ready. Finish with a small amount of water. You just want to add that water gradually and stir constantly. In total, I've added about half a cup of water. And now our syrup is ready. It is perfect. We can turn off the heat and remove the spatula. Now you just want to pour that caramel all over your dish, just like this. Add all the caramel in. Be careful, you don't want to burn yourself. This is super hot. But gently twisting and turning your pan, try and get caramel all over the sides like this. This dish should be coated with caramel all over. Then pour that banana mixture over the top. The smell of the banana is so perfect. I always make this at home and everybody's always asking me for the recipe. And done. Now all we have to do is cover and it's ready to go. Cover it well to prevent air from getting in it during the cooking process. Aluminum foil is perfect for this. Seal it tightly before placing it into a cooking pot. Now in a large pot, we're gonna put in some water. And then once we have water in our pot, we can gently place our dish inside, just like this. Don't add too much water or else it's gonna overflow. Then cover and we're gonna cook our banana pudding for 30 minutes. We are cooking this over a medium heat. And our dessert is ready. Let's give this a taste. Cut and serve a generous piece for your family. I know they're gonna love it. Look how beautiful this color is. So moist, so delicious. I just love the taste of this recipe. Now, if you'd like, you can top it with some chocolate syrup and that would be delicious. But just look at that beautiful color. It's making my mouth water. Enjoy your meal.